Okay. Shit. Are we excellent connection this time? Please. Stream is healthy, but it's not showing anything. What the fuck? YouTube, come on, me. Oh my god, it works. It works. Haha. Share the link again. Cause fuck.
Arlo's criticizing Mario. It's like, who cares? Oh my god, my childhood games are on the Switch. Somebody in the chat say, consume.
Just.
Why no consume?
Hold on. Fucked up.
Don't ask questions. Consume product, and they get excited for product.
Yeah. Fucked up with the stream. Fucked up with the stream. Guys. Goldman Asai. Hey chat. Wait, god damn it. I need to go. Oh shit. You know, I was like so ready because I was like, I just need to post this thing again and again and again and again and again and again. Because the stream died. Just fucking poverty internet. God damn it. Ah, no, not again. No, stop having problems with me. No, stream, you're supposed to be great. You're supposed to be healthy. Whee! I might have to go at this point. I might have to go to Vegas. I'm so happy that I also have like digital copies of like whatever we streamed. So at least then, if all things go to then like re-upload it.
You want me to stream it?
Uh, maybe actually.
I mean, you have a really sweet. Yeah, I mean, actually, you know what? We'll hold off on that for now. I don't really have a good setup, a good like stream layout for discussion, right? You do. You have like a dope like EFAP kind of thing. You can get one set up for me.
Yeah. All right. So let's actually continue watching this.
Okay. Is it good? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Like tournaments and for example, a game with a low player something like or really any sports
Daisy
game
apparently actually got
because
really
despite
bigger
sports
recently.
games doing very well on sales, they just don't do very well past that. Generally, they have a pretty quick drop off of player retention. Now, what exactly fuels player retention? How do we get more people actively playing fighting games? Because sales on fighting games are definitely not the issue. They do pretty well. The problem is keeping people playing fighting. Well, let's look at some games with high player retention. These are the top 10.
Sorry, I just think that's funny that you said we need to keep player retention. I'm like, yeah, you do that by having a high skill ceiling, right?
Look at these
on
games
Steam right now.
You know,
F2, but ST,
like look at like TF2. There's a lot of high depth shit that you can learn in like TF2, and even
it was awesome.
yeah, Dota 2 isn't. I mean, say what you will, Dota 2 isn't exactly an easy game. There's a lot of other intricacies that you have to learn. Like aside from just learning how to play your character, you have to learn what skills you want to level up, you want to improve as you're playing.
Last hitting, jungle, laning,
and then team synergies, what items you need for this specific playthrough, and even like just controlling runes.
Into siege. No. I have infinitely more respect for Dota than kids.
I mean, yeah, for starters, they give you access to all the heroes. Like, so.
Oh really? No way.
Yeah, Dota 2 has given you access to access to all the heroes, unlike League of Legends, where you have to buy. Like fuck off. I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually recently I've picked up like Legends of Runeterra, It's like that League card game. It's surprisingly fun.
Yeah, I heard that game was kind of cool.
That said, fuck League.
I seriously, fuck League, dude. Anything that Tencent tries to do, Valve will do it better, hands down. Valorant, Counter Strike is better.
I mean, they tried to do it.
Overwatch, TF2 is better. Fucking League of Legends, Dota 2 is better.
I mean, they tried to get. To be fair, they tried to get into like the card game thing, the collectible card game thing with like Artifact, but that kind of flopped.
Yeah, that's fair. That is one thing that Valve did not. And you want to know something else Valve has done better when it comes to fucking battle royales? Apex Legends versus PUBG. PUBG's owned by fucking Bluehole, which is a big Chinese corporation. And then you've got Apex Legends, which runs on the fucking Source engine. Bunch of chads.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't Apex
Source
Legends EA?
engine. Unfortunately, it is.
Yeah.
But that's the Respawn Entertainment, and those guys are badass. Those guys did
yeah.
the original Call of Duty 4. They did Modern Warfare. They were the original Infinity War team before they got kicked off from them. They did Modern Warfare 2, which is an incredible game. They did Titanfall 1 and 2, and they did Apex. So, and they did the recent Star Wars game. Did,
Jedi the Fallen Order? I heard it's not that
I've heard so many I've heard mixed opinions about it. I've heard people say it's bad. I've heard people say I need to play it for myself. Anyway, yeah, that was a
by player activity. We're not going to count Payday 2 in this because it's recently gone completely free to play, so there's a massive spike in players as you guys can see on that chart. For all of these games that are in these red boxes here, who can point out what similarities these games have? What do they share in common? Well, they share in common.
well, let's do it.
Oh, I know. Depth.
Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Depth.
Yeah, depth.
Let's see.
Especially games like Counter Strike. I have a lot of respect for PUBG. TF2 for sure, Dota.
Team-based games.
Rocket League. Yeah, for sure. Team-based games. Shooters. Practically all of these are shooters except for Rocket League. It is the only game. Oh, no, Dota. Dota's a MOBA. Made by fucking Valve.
Let's see. We've got TF2, we've got Counter-Strike, and then we've got Dota 2. Rocket League isn't made by Valve, isn't it? Is it?
No, I was making a joke.
But yeah.
Rocket League is sick though. I got to watch Cloud9, my favorite team, live at Dream.
Also, several of these, at least 3 of these are actually no, even 4 of these are household names. Dota 2. I've played Dota since I was a kid. Counter-Strike, same thing.
Oh, wait. You play Dota, the original, like fucking Warcraft 3 mod?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Alright, because I played Warcraft 3 when I was... Hell yeah, dude.
Also, Counter-Strike. Also played that with friends when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. I didn't play Counter-Strike when they were... 6. Yeah.
Team Fortress. Whoever the fuck played like Half-Life or like Quake mods, they most likely played Team Fortress, the original Team Fortress at one point. Grand Theft Auto. When
I
age 8.
Team Fortress 1, but Team Fortress 2 is sick.
Grand Theft Auto. Age 8. My very first game was Vice fucking City.
No,
City
I
on like the
GTA though.
Vice City on the PS2. And like my friend's mom was like, okay, which one of you brought like this game that was supposedly really violent and shit?
And raise his hand. Hey, you little
Because like my
bastard.
other, it's like my other, because my other friend, because it was like we were spending a day there, at least, so we were, and like we were playing like on my other friend's PS2, and one of them brought Vice City, and like we were having a lot of fun because it was just a lot of the shit that we could do was just really stupid. And it was like we were just laughing our asses off.
Well, actually, that's probably. I say hot a lot is because I play fighting games. Not hot. 2 children playing a game is not. Okay, so, geez, why do I always feel like I'm going to get canceled?
Anyway, let's see.
Well, it's bit of a trick question because they share quite a lot in common, but I'm going to go through all those things that they share. You should try to incorporate these things into fighting games. So, first of all, is cosmetics. Cosmetics are
Okay.
so important for making a healthy and stable online game because it keeps people coming back because they want to unlock those cosmetics, or they see them and they get intrigued. And I'm sure a psychologist could better break down exactly why cosmetics help increase player retention. But in my basic layman's terms, they're pretty and people want them. Just look at Overwatch. Overwatch is able to sustain having free
Yeah, I think I slightly agree with this. It's just that like you've got to be really careful to not do it out cap. Just like pay $60 for a game, now pay $20 for your costume. Fuck you. No. These costumes need to
God,
be unlocked with in-game. Apex Legends does it very well because
even
you get
Tekken
a
does it
fuck
actually.
ton of game currency. But
Yeah,
yeah,
even Tekken does it fairly well. Although to be that said, uh, I don't think most people don't always care about. Most people don't always care about like customizing characters much. They do like. I
yeah.
can imagine somebody liking. I can imagine people liking certain skins, but overall, most people are fine. They're
Yeah, I don't think
even
this is
with
a big like, oh, this is gonna bring people like he says it is, but it would.
you. What was that?
I do agree that cosmetics would help player retention for sure, but it's not like this big like you're gonna see a 50% increase if you do cosmetics. I don't know about that, but it would help.
Also, remember Overwatch?
I do
That game,
watch
that game
watch makes me
aged,
very angry.
that game aged so well, didn't it?
Like milk. Hey, remember Overwatch 2 after the big Blitzchung controversy? Hey, Blizzard, if you're listening to this, go fuck yourself. Never Battle.net is not on my PC and it never will be.
I've hated them since Diablo 3. I understand. Actually, it's even.
Yeah, dude. Diablo Immortal, fucking uh, Warcraft 3 No Fun Edition. Um, fucking got like a zero point 0.5 audience score on Metacritic. Um,
Uh,
fucking, fucking, you'll love to see it. Obviously Garthstone and fucking like Overgooch. Fucking fuck you, ass. You're not the
uh,
Blizzard I knew back in Warcraft 3 and Diablo 2. You're not the same the N208 vanilla Warcraft. You're not the people I know anymore.
I mean, yeah,
Slave
they
of China.
after like World of Warcraft came launched, pretty much majority of like the old guard disappeared.
Now slaves at the CCP.
DLC maps and free characters purely because of its cosmetic system. And I mean, just look at its viewership on Twitch. It spikes like crazy. And also, its player retention probably spikes like crazy whenever they do one of these in game events like Christmas or the recent anniversary event that happened. And it looks like the same thing's going to happen with Battlefront 2 because they've already confirmed that the game will have cosmetics in it, and they've recently confirmed that the game will.
Oh no. Come out before Battlefront.
Yes, this video was uploaded June 2017.
Okay, so crazy. I just got done playing EA's Battlefront 2 for the first time a while ago, and that game is not even a shred of what like.
Yeah,
And that game, it's basically a whole new game.
they had to completely revamp the fuck out of that after that whole controversy back in like 2017, early 2018.
Damn right for that controversy. They tried to pull a fast one on us. They tried to ruin the game, which they did for a little bit. But like, dude, I'm such a fucking. Can I guess I can't say the F word slur on your stream.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I'm not monetized.
I am such a giant Star Wars faggot. I love Star Wars so goddamn much, and like when I first joined in the game and like heard like the rebels are like encroaching on the Death Star, push them back. Like I saw a bunch of like stormtroopers like running with me, and I looked outside the viewport and I saw like a big space capital ship space battle outside. I was just like,
Well, actually,
now. Back then, I just think. Sorry, that's a tangent. I just think that's funny that he's like, oh, dude, Battlefront 2 is gonna have this. You have no
Oh,
idea. You have
yeah.
no idea.
Oh, the pay to win shit. That was just so mind knowing. And it was so on brand because it was EA. Oh, that was amazing. I have to say, that was amazing. Let's
We can get off this tangent.
DLC. Just look at Counter-Strike. Among the competitive community in that game, CSGO was considered one of the worst entries in the series. The active players weren't very high, the viewership on Twitch was little to none, until they added the cosmetic system, which made the game blow up. Active players and viewers on Twitch skyrocketed. This day is one of the largest games on the
how true is that? I actually,
I have
because
no idea. I have no idea.
one of the frustrating things about this video is he cites some sources, but
Back it up.
he doesn't properly back it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, gotta get just over 12 minutes. So, I mean, just over 10 minutes, so that you can
Get that monetization money.
planet, despite having one of the worst cosmetic systems, in my humble opinion. Next big thing these games share in common is ease of access. This is true for almost every game besides fighting games. Cast a spell in Dota, you press E on your
Sorry, I have a question. How is
But
how is like people shouting at you for like feeding someone and like calling you a noob ease of ease of access?
I'll tell you right here how ease of access it is. Press tab and you press no. You press enter and you press /mute all. The end. Problem's over. Be a victim.
uh, but yeah,
Someone was annoying me. If someone was annoying me and being quote unquote toxic or whatever, guess what I do? I fucking press tab and I mute him. Apex Legends, some guy was being a fucking asshole to me. Guess what? Tabbed, mute him, carried his ass. Not hard. People want to be victims so hard. Oh, he called me a poop head when I got a kill. Wow. In the words of the video game donkey, fucking shit is the fucking only fun part about this game. Might as well play the bots if you want to act like robots, right?
yeah, but that kind of what's this? It's kind of also leads to my point. That's not you may have to deal with it, but that's not you wouldn't exactly call that a good time, would you?
Um, thick skin. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna say you're retarded and mute you. You know, so like I don't really care.
Oh
But
yeah.
but you have a point. You have a point. That's pretty simple.
keyboard. Shoot a gun in Counter-Strike or PUBG, you left-click on your mouse. In a fighting game, in order to cast an
Oh
ability,
my
you need
god, hold up. This sounds. I'll let him finish his point, but this sounds so
Strike or PUBG, you left my humble opinion. Next big thing these games share in common is ease of access. This is a fighting game. In order to cast an ability, you need to do a number of things. Cast a
Oh, my
spell
bad, I'm
in
sorry.
Dota, you press E on your keyboard. Shoot a gun in Counter-Strike or PUBG, you left-click on your mouse. In a fighting game, in order to cast an ability, you need to do a number of things. Easiest of which is down forward 1. And I understand if you've been playing fighting games for a long period of time and you don't see the problem with that, but try to hear me out. Fighting game inputs, the way they're currently done, I'll now refer to them as directional inputs, but like down
Oh
forward
my
1,
god,
that type
not
of
this
stuff, are
argument.
based off of a really old design philosophy because they had a limited amount of buttons in the arcades and even on the early consoles. But these days, controllers have so many.
Okay, holy shit. That's so disingenuous to be like, oh, in Counter-Strike, it's easy, left click.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, now that I
That's true. And in fucking fighting games, you gotta do punch. Oh my god, fuck you. So disingenuous.
actually, yeah. Now
That's
that I've
such a
been
false
here, now
equivalent.
that I'm hearing this again, it didn't occur to me. It didn't occur to me that he didn't bring up the fact that you have to aim.
Yeah, no, that's why it's so disingenuous, right? Because in League, it's not just, oh, you press Q and you do your ability. You have to aim. Sometimes there's skill shots. Like, there's skill shots and, like, when to use them properly. And positioning and shit. Like, and then in Counter-Strike, you have to track. You have to aim. You have to fucking, like, you have to track, aim, control recoil, all while...
Imagine playing like
So fucking...
Imagine playing like Earthshaker or Elder Titan. You can't just like rely. The thing about like their main skills, the ones that cause stun or sleep, those moves hit in a line. So you have to properly aim for that shit where you get where you rake in as many stuns or sleeps as possible. So it's just he. This is
Yeah.
kind of thinking about it.
This is really.
Kind of just downplays the depth that these games actually have.
Yeah, for sure. No. It's like oh, like Counter-Strike is it? Like it's
Like, have you
like he's
ever
gonna.
played? Like, have you ever played Dota? Like, what?
That's retarded. Um, and he's obviously. Oh, I paused it on. He's gonna obviously go to the new. Like, oh, like fighting games are fucking hard.
Any more button. This directional system has only stuck around because of tradition. You don't see
No,
how
it hasn't.
There have
Just
been very
explained last podcast why they haven't stuck around because of tradition.
yeah. This is like 2017. Oh my god! Imagine he had the
Right.
think about this. He uploaded this video in 2017. So in 3 years, 3 years, his opinion hasn't changed.
Really?
Yeah, 3 fucking
Imagine being an idiot.
years.
Wow. Oh, dude, your fellow Philippine brother just made a big tweet about Mulan,
Oh god.
Weekend Warrior.
Oh, let me.
You gotta deal with it.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
Somehow.
Oh god, this
Yeah,
is
this argument he's making is
yeah, because it severely downplays the depth that the other games have, and at the same time
yeah.
it exaggerates the difficulty of these moves. Now that I think about it, I started playing fighting games in '09, and even when I was getting into these fighting games, motion inputs were not the first thing I had difficulty with. It was more of like just understanding
Oh, yeah.
how to win and how to beat my opponent and stuff like that. That's the It's just so disingenuous.
Rolly legs. Rolly legs can do it. Good too.
I want to remind people that in 2013, Wawa, at the age of 8, beat 3 players in a team exhibition match in the World WGC back in 2013 in King of Fighters 13. And I want to remind people at that time, King of Fighters 13 was the game to be infamous for having tight execution. He was 8, and he beat 3 people before he eventually lost to someone. So that says a lot. And quite frankly, if motion inputs can't gatekeep kids, I have no idea what to say about you. Because also, here's the thing.
I know what to say. Get good.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's the thing about this gatekeeping, especially when it's like when it's as simple as motion inputs, at that point it's all you're the one gatekeeping yourself. That's all I have to say.
possible to do a fighting game without traditional directional inputs. Let me lay out one. Keep in mind that this is just one. It needs to be done this way. This is one way it could be done. Currently in fighting games, we have a right analog stick, which is not used at all. Between up, down,
Oh
left.
my god! What about fucking fight sticks?
Also no. General idea of having to use a right stick. No. I do Fighting games do not need this. Here's the thing. This sounds as uncomfortable as playing a shooter with a gamepad. That's the general idea of it. The general issue of this layout. And yeah, I get it. Smash has it.
I get what you're saying, but no, but like like again, what about people that use fight sticks? You're gonna expect me to go flip it over to right stick like anytime it like, dude. Speaking of which, have you seen the 3DS version of Ultra Street Fighter 4?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen Max play it.
Yeah, you can
One
set
Sonic.
macros. Yeah, you can set mac. Yeah, one button Sonic booms. It's all without having to charge.
Oh god, 3DS
Like
Street Fighter
you can
4's.
set.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, go. You go first.
I mean, you were basically saying it. It's hilarious. Like you can set the touchpad um to do special moves. So like Guile can do Sonic booms walking forward. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, Gal dominated that shit, and it was so toxic. Oh my! Also, imagine like having to do even just doing El Fuerte run stop loops. Although now that I think about it, because of the one button Sonic
Oh
booms,
no.
El Fuerte run stop loops get neutered.
Oh my. Yeah, I just typed in Super Street Fighter 4 DS tournament. Oh dang. Trying to find one. That would be amazing.
Oh, that would be fun to do like a match analysis of that.
Because you just pick Guile. You pick any charge character and win.
Just fucking Guile. Oh, just Guile with the one button Sonic booms and walking flash
Oh my
kicks.
god.
Dude, fucking
Wait,
walking
you
flash
can do your
kicks.
super. Your super. Oh my god.
It's even worse. It's even worse.
I'm watching the video right now.
It's even worse based off of like the footage. You can.
Oh my.
It's even worse because you can macro ultra into there in like the 3DS version.
Macro Ultra.
Yes, you can macro
fucking like
ultra.
FADC and stuff.
It's amazing, dude. Oh my god. Imagine macroing ultra. So fucking busted. Now, okay, where was I? It is possible to now as a argument for one button inputs. It is very possible to have a fighting game with one button inputs. However, you have to be very smart with like your with your game design when it comes to these motion inputs. If you like I brought this up last time, but again, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid uh has one button inputs for their special moves, and it works for them because as a team game, Power Rangers is chaotic. That's why if you actually look at like Dragon Ball Fighters, all the special moves are just quarter circle forward or quarter circle back. Because as a team game, it's chaotic by nature.
ODP.
Yeah, as a team game, the flow in Dragon Ball Fighters is very chaotic. So you need to have that simplified input so that your players can understand can take time to understand what's going on and then react. It really helps. But actually, now that I think about it, even Bayani, that indie fighting game I like to play, Filipino fighting game,
Huh?
it has one button specials, but it's first off, it uses the Street Fighter layout where you use 6 buttons, but 3 of your buttons are for normal attacks, and then 3 of your buttons are for specials. And then each button you can only do one specific special move per button. And if you want to do an EX version of that special move, you have to do quarter circle forward and then the special button. Now, the problem is, in order to do supers in that game, you just press special 1 and special 2 together as soon as you have 2 bars of super meter. But in order to burst in that game, you need 2 bars of super meter, and you press the heavy attack and S3 at the same time. And supers, and you can burst out of supers. So that's one.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like Dragon Ball Fighters has like so. Wait, I'm actually. all meter burns and tag fighters. I'm thinking of like the fucking fighter version where it's like flashy, flashy.
Yeah.
Like, except for the fucking DLC Dragon Ball Fighters characters where goddamn auto combos. Look at you, Dragon Ball Super. Why are you so extra? Why does your auto combo have to be a cutscene?
But yeah, it goes back to my point. You can balance your game around one button specials, but you have to be smart about it. You have to be very smart about it because the moment
Otherwise,
you
you'll
get
end up with 3DS.
yeah, the moment you get rid of special motions, you are there are very severe consequences to getting rid of special motions.
And you have to be very tricky with how you do it.
Like there's a very specific reason why SPDs and command grabs, especially those who have like who follow the main grappler archetype, you have like 360 motion inputs for their grabs because they're very powerful. They're very fast. And even if like you can beat them by jumping, it's not exactly easy to react to unless you see the motion input being buffered.
They're impossible to react to. Zangief's SPD is like frame 4.
Yeah. So that's even worse.
They're not even close to being reactive. I would be dumb if they were. I mean, dude, you know what you would get? You would get fucking blue Vegeta and Jiren's command.
Oh,
They're quite
actually,
literally reactable.
now that I think about it, there's this one character in the game, in Bayani, Tonyo. He has a one button command grab, but the main weakness of that command grab is it has a very limited range. So, you know,
Wait, what now?
Tonyo, he has a command grab by just he has a one button command grab. So the moment he does that, he gets to deal some decent amount of damage, and he gets a small combo out of it. But
Pretty good.
but the weakness to that command grab is it has very, very, very limited range.
Ah, okay.
So they also design. So as a result, he actually also has a one button special move that allows him to move forward, and he still takes damage if people hit him during like his special attack, but he is not interrupted.
Oh, so armor.
Yeah, he has armor, but I mean armor in the sense that he can still continue the animation, but he still loses life. So yeah, it's like $16 on
Even
Steam.
just clicking on the right stick, we have 5 abilities right there, and if you need more than these, well then you could do the same input while holding.
I mean, I don't want to pause for too long, but like, once again, like we just have been talking about this, fight sticks and be good.
Down R2, and now you have up to 10 abilities, and past that point, you can do even more things to incorporate the right stick in order to get some abilities out. But I really don't think you need more than 10 abilities. Obviously, there have been fighting games with characters.
Alright, bro. Go make a game. Go make you a game with your little right stick and R1 little modifiers, right? Go do it.
Here's
Can't let
another
people play your damn game.
here's another thing
do it.
that he doesn't bring up.
His show ain't gonna happen to it. Like, hey, hang on. Let me like you ain't gonna change Street Fighter. You ain't gonna change Mortal Kombat. You ain't gonna change fucking Tekken. These games are gonna continue to have motion inputs, whether you like it or not. Want to play a fighting game that has a different system? I'm all for it. Don't you sit here and advocate fucking my game needs to change because you're fucking too bad to play.
Here's another thing he doesn't bring up. Some characters, like say, let's go back to Guile because he's the easiest. He only has 2 special moves,
Yeah.
but throughout on those 2 special moves alone, they each have they each have like varying strengths and varying effects depending on what button you press. Like say, if you do Sonic Boom with like the light punch, you get a slow fireball. You get a slow sonic boom. But if you do the heavy punch version of Sonic Boom, the Sonic Boom moves even faster. And then if you get the EX, you get a Sonic Boom that can hit twice. Now, the you can probably have like different versions of the special move with like just one button inputs. But how do you design it in a way that it's easy for you to understand? That's easy for you to just have it in your mental stack. Because how easy will it be for you to pick that up the moment you're in like a high pressure situation?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about that the other day about how like motion inputs combined with like the different buttons can do different things. I mean, I brought up Ibuki's bomb knife, where like pressing light and heavy will throw it in one angle, pressing medium and heavy will throw it in another angle, light and heavy will throw it at this angle. So like
Or look at like Kami's super in Street Fighter 5. Depending on what button you press, the angle that she descends on changes. And that affects.
I actually had no idea.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And
I had no idea.
yeah,
Oh my god, that makes so much fucking sense. I couldn't hit that combo.
Yeah, you have to be very mindful of like what you press because it completely changes the angle
Wow.
in which she hits her she dive kicks towards her opponent and then does the animation for like the critical art.
Learn something new every day. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. That's cool.
Yeah.
abilities, and you can totally make that work, but you don't have to. Obviously, this is a pretty simple system I've managed to come up with in less than 10 minutes, and it already has some flaws in it. Like, for example, fight
Yeah, it
sticks
does.
would be useless. You would have to
Yep.
make a new type of fight stick to incorporate this type of
Yes.
ability. I don't think that's a horrible thing, but it's probably worth keeping in mind.
What? Don't think a horror. Fuck you. Because fighting games are hard and I don't like them. I think the entirety of fighting games should be structured around the fact that I'm bad at them. Yeah, you people who've been using fight sticks since way back in arcades, yeah, fuck you.
I like
you
how
just don't get to use your fight
I like
sticks.
how he doesn't think this isn't
Jeez.
alienating. I like how he doesn't think this isn't alienating.
Like
Like look
he's
at
trying to change things because he's bad. Like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, this is so I can't believe he's making these. Like how could he?
and also like fuck off. First off, arcade sticks are expensive. So when people heard
I
the
don't
news, why do you think that when people heard the news about like the PS5 allowing you to use officially supported arcade sticks from PS that are PS4 that support PS4, why do you think people were ecstatic about that news? Because then they wouldn't have to spend money. Like fuck off, dude. I've been playing like I like playing on arcade sticks. I prefer to play arcade sticks, so I don't want to just have to spend money on like a new one. Like fuck off. Fuck off, dude.
It's like,
Oh shit. And man, my cat's
Hell.
went to my cat's is trash now. I have to say. And
bro, I got me a
they
razor.
fell
I got
from
me a razor.
they
Think
they
it's beautiful.
they fucking fell.
Stick. Like,
Yeah,
godlike.
my cats fell from grace so fucking hard ever since Markman left.
It really did. All right, let's get on with the
Sticks
shit
aren't
show.
super common among general consumers, and this is not the only way one-button abilities
Yeah, so you're basically giving the middle finger to the legacy player. Not cool.
Yeah.
done this. Other ways of doing it, in fact, has been done other ways. Some people might be worried about balancing. For example, in fighting games currently,
Yes.
if a move is a little bit more powerful than the rest of your abilities, like for example, Scarecrow's command grab, to make up for that, the ability is a down, back, forward movement, which is noticeably more difficult than a traditional.
It's not.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
down back forward. That just sounds that's literally quarter circle back forward. That's a
That's Potemkin's
that's an
command
easy
grab.
that's an easy Blaze Blue input.
That's not what like dude. Stop. Bad. Just but dude.
Down back movement make up for how much more powerful it is than their abilities. This concern about balancing is valid, but try to remember that every fighting game you've played,
Dude, look at how much they're waking up with. How much they're just.
powerful than the rest of your abilities, like for example Scarecrow's command grab. To make up for that, the ability is a down back forward movement, which is noticeably more difficult than a traditional down forward or down back movement. Make up for how much more powerful it is than their abilities.
Where's
This
the
concern about
blocking?
balancing is valid, but try to remember that every fighting game you've played, or at least
I'm sorry, where's the blocking?
And 10 fucking. Is this ranked?
I think it's ranked. Probably.
It's probably not his. I
Yeah.
guarantee you it's not his footage. There's there's
that you've played has been designed with directional inputs heavily in mind. Core of their game. Imagine if Injustice 2 was designed with one button abilities instead of directional. Deadshot probably would end up having a cooldown system on most of his abilities, making his full screen game much weaker. Because of that, he would probably be given more close pressure tools or like more get off me abilities. Game to look at to see
How would you know? That's the thing. You don't know what's in the minds of like NRS devs.
what did he say?
Let's go. Let's repeat. Are you in 605?
I am.
instead of directional. Deadshot probably would end up having a cooldown system on most of his abilities, making his full screen game much weaker. Because of that, he would probably be given more close pressure tools or like more get off me abilities.
Wait. Yeah. Exactly. How do you know that?
Right?
Know that?
Like it's
I
one
mean,
thing if
I mean, I'll.
it's one thing if you can like make recommendations to improve upon a game based on your experience with other games and why they and having an understanding of why they worked in those games. Like say, I I keep going back to Bayani, but it's an example I could think of because yeah, you've heard of have you ever heard of the term chicken blocking?
I have. I know exactly what it is, but I do know. I've heard of it.
Basically, when you get as soon as you wake up from from like a knockdown, you just press up, you just hold up back. So depending on how you design
Oh.
it, usually it allows you to avoid grabs and you'll instantly block overheads. Now depending on how the
Oh yeah, that happened. I did that in a Dragon Ball.
now depending on how well that depending on what's prioritized, like if jump gets prioritized, what ends up happening is chicken guarding can become an encompassing defensive OS because not only on after getting up from a hard knockdown will you block highs, avoid command grabs, but you'll also instantly avoid lows.
Wait, no. If you properly, those would still hit. Maybe properly low.
It depends on how it's designed because like in them's fighting herds, what how they fixed how they handled chicken guarding was blocking is prioritized over jumping. And the thing about jumping, I think, is like there's 5 frames of pre-jump when doing a jump. So so chicken guarding will avoid command grabs and block highs and overheads. But if you try to chicken
You can still
guard,
go. You can still go
you'll get
low.
you'll get stuffed by a low.
Okay.
And the reason
What if you just walk up and anti-air right in their? Wouldn't that be just
depends
like if you knew they were gonna?
depends on how the game is designed. Because in the case of like
If the game has air block.
yeah, if in the case of like them's fighting herds, you can block anti-airs.
Okay, gotcha. Street Fighter, you commit when you cannot air.
Yeah, that's why most people would often prefer to backdash instead.
There's a backdash except in 5, but backdash in like Ultra and like Third Strike and stuff, like backdashes are invincible. On 5 though, they're driving actually.
Yeah.
Game to look at to see this idea in action is Rising Thunder. I'm going to link in the description a tournament that was played for Rising Thunder before unfortunately it was cancelled and shut down. It was early access footage, but you can see very high level gameplay for a fighting game without directional input. For people who are still worried about balance, let me ask you a question.
Here's the thing. I'm going to assume that that footage was played by people who had the basic understanding of what fighting game.
Like, the Injustice.
Now, the Rising Thunder footage.
My thing is that, like, I'll say it again. I said it before. I'll say it again. I'm absolutely fine with the things that he's proposing for like a new game, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that he's proposing this to like completely like we need a new system. Like, no, we don't. Shut up. Like, you're not ruining.
Also, here's the thing.
Okay, good. Make your own game.
Also, here's the thing.
Go play Rise of Thunder. Go play fucking that other game. I forget.
Fantasy Strike.
Yeah, go play Fantasy Strike.
Now,
Come on, shoot.
Here's the thing. Some people will argue that if they get rid of motion inputs, it will get more people into the game. The problem is, now you're gonna have to deal with constantly losing a lot because the legacy players have no motion inputs holding them back. So they can just rely on reaction.
That's true.
You can see this in high level play of Grand Blue where even if like doing one button specials has a cooldown, you might as well just go for it because it's like it's
talked about this last time.
Because it's just a matter of just quick reaction.
No, absolutely. Like if I could. I mean, I spoke about this last time that like I use back heavy punch with Akuma to anti-air when I should be using medium DP because I'm not like quick enough in my mind to react it fast enough to medium DP. So I just do back heavy punch. Like I know medium DP is better for me, but I just like this has a lot of unforeseen.
Let me ask you a question, and this isn't supposed to be rhetorical or condescending.
Sorry. I want to also add, this is a bit anecdotal, so it's somewhat subjective. So it's kind of subjective. But when I was playing like Bayani, my main character usually was like Joe. For reference, Joe is a Shoto character. He has a fireball, he has a DP, and then he has an advancing move. Now those are all just one buttons. And the thing about Joe's fireball, it basically acts like Ryu's fireball. And then he has an EX fireball that actually acts like a slow sonic boom. So when you have that in tandem with like even just a regular fireball, what usually ends up becoming my playstyle is I use the fireball to keep my opponent in place so that I can advance safely towards them. And it's a very effective tactic. And then, yeah, I can basically just do ABC into fireball as a basic block string, and I'll be fairly safe. And it's a basic frame trap. And the thing about Bayani is, if you get a counter hit in that game, you can convert it into a big combo easily.
Sure.
So, yeah, this actually does nothing. It doesn't really make it as accessible for new players as most people think it would. You get what I say? What I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree. I don't have anything really to add to that, just because I agree with it.
Yeah. So let's continue this.
Ending, it is a genuine question. Do you think the top 5 players in Mortal Kombat Street Fighter would be any different at all if directional inputs weren't in those respective?
That would be better.
Yeah, the skill gap would be
better.
Skill gap would be much bigger.
That would be better.
There are no motion because again, there are no
motion, but you can DP on reaction.
Yeah, there are no motion inputs holding back these people.
You can on reaction.
Oh yeah, do you remember? Have you seen like the CPT qualifier in like Asia for back just this year, the one where Daigo just dominated. He did like
Yeah.
he did like 11 sweeps in in his match against I think it was Tokido. And that was
7
just
sweeps.
yeah, that was just that was just on reaction.
Wait, so what are you trying to?
So my point, and again, it kind of goes back to like my point. If he can do like sweeps on if even like say Daigo can do sweeps on reaction consistently.
Oh
Imagine if
god, yeah. What if you gave him a fucking one button D?
yeah.
Holy crap! There's a reason why one button DPs are like really annoying. And like, here's the thing: Ed and Falk have one button DPs in Street Fighter. If you have the macro for it, right? It's normally a 3 button DP. Um, but they have if you're using the macro, it's a 1 button DP, and they are the slowest to start up and the laggiest on block because they're 1 button. Like I have caught so many Eds and Falks mashing deep in the middle of a combo that's and like block strings that'll legitimately just drop my shit I'll intentionally drop my shit mid combo just because I know there's fucking mashing and then they swing and then I crush counter and get a bigger combo. And it's because and like there's an option select. Ed's fucking like what's it called? I forget. Anyway, his 1 button DP. Uh, there's an option select where you can do like 2 jabs and a medium before the whole thing comes. That's how fucking slow it is.
Oof.
Yeah, but like that's like the consequence of being a 1 button DP, right? Some sort of counterbalance.
Man, imagine being Ed. A trashy character, trashy playstyle, and then just like trashy theme. Just all three for free. That's so depressing.
I'm gonna play.
I don't think so because the execution difficulty combos, in my opinion, is not that difficulty only comes in while learning the combo. After that, it all becomes repetitive.
Going back a little
Genuine
bit.
question: do you think the top 5 players in Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Street Fighter would be any different at all if directional inputs weren't in those respective? I personally don't think so because the execution difficulty combos, in my opinion, is not relevant. That difficulty only comes in while
What?
learning the combo. After that, it all becomes.
Wait.
I personally don't think so because the execute. I think the top 5 players in Mortal Kombat, Injustice, Street Fighter would be any different at all if directional inputs weren't in those respective. I personally don't think so because the execution difficulty combos, in my opinion, is not relevant. That difficulty.
By that. Execution difficulty in a combo isn't relevant. What does he mean by that? I don't want to take him out of context.
Is not. Let's continue. He might be able to finish up.
Only comes in while learning the combo. After that, it all becomes repetition. It's rare to see people in high-level tournaments drop combos
Okay, good. That's not true though.
That's an overestimation of skill.
Yeah, dude, you have no idea. Coming into this genre that you're bad at, you're making these giant sweeping claims about shit you don't know. I guarantee you, this guy has never even tried. Because fucking NRS games all have fucking like target auto combos, right? Where you
Yep.
just prus them at the right time. I guarantee you, this guy has never fucking done a Street Fighter Link or a fucking like Marvel like zero to death combo. Goody.
Yep.
Fuck off, dude. Like just because like I'm a combo, like you're taking that away from me, dude. You're trying to take that away from me. I worked my ass off to get good at that combo. Fuck you, dude. Like
It took me
you're overestimating way too much.
Yeah, also it took me some time to get down like Tianwo's jump C loops.
Huh. Like, dude, like, oh, like, no matter how hard it is, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just repetition. Like maybe, but like, that doesn't change. You're still like, doesn't change the fact that it's still really hard.
Also, if it
Like,
doesn't
anything really hard should be powerful. Fuck off, dude.
matter, then how come Evo moment number 37 is a thing?
Yeah. Oh my god, don't even get me started. Yeah, Gerald has a great video on that.
Because here's the
It's
thing.
actually one of the greatest videos of all time. It's called "The Consequences of Reducing the Skill Gap." It's wonderful, but highly recommend.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's not just like the fact that Daigo was at chip health, and then he had to parry at the exact time. He did a high parry so that he could convert the parry into a jumping roundhouse, and then a crouching medium into like a fierce short medium or fierce shoryuken into a super.
Super. Yeah.
And the thing is, if you actually the thing about leniency in Street Fighter 3 is it's not as lenient as other compared to like the later entries of Street Fighter. That's the
Yeah, it's
thing.
much harder.
Yeah, so to say that it to say that execution doesn't matter or combos don't matter is no. Just no.
Yeah, that's really. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Intentionally in order to continue it later and get more damage. And even when
Yeah,
you
it's
do
called a
see people
reset.
unintentionally drop a combo, it's not necessarily because of directional inputs. In fact, I would argue it.
Sorry,
Um,
can I also add I want to add something. Also, if it weren't for like execution in combos, you wouldn't also have shit like you wouldn't people wouldn't also be would then not be excited watching this 8-year-old play King of Fighters 13.
or watch the was it Gamerby? I can't remember who it is. Some guy who has really sick combos.
I think it
Um,
was I'm not sure if it was Gamer.
or you know
Ah,
what about
I
Daigo?
think it was Tatsunoko.
Yes, yeah. Sako.
Ah,
Tatsunoko versus Capcom. No, Sako Noko. He plays Kage and yeah,
hmm.
yeah. He played Evil Ryu in Ultra, and he had dope ass fucking combos. Like he was talking about his signature combo, and then like that, like he was talking about in Gerald's video. Is like I have my signature combo, but now with Street Fighter Five, because the input anyone can do. Yeah, like what? That's why one frame links are. It's like it lets people do like really badass shit. This guy has no idea what he's talking about.
And the thing about
He's literally advocating for taking away player expression. Fuck off.
yeah, that's the thing. That's what people like about these fighting games. It's expression. Like if you actually because I play very differently compared to like other Tianwos that I fought or I know in the community. Like I have something that's like my style. It may not be as good, but it's still my style by the end of the day. And I like that. And I think many other people kind of like that. Like and it's actually really nice to have something like to have these kinds of expressive these kinds of differences in playstyle and expression because like in the TFH community there are two strong Velvet players 5x5 and then you also have Siri. They play very differently from each other despite playing a zoner
Yeah.
because Siri likes to do is a very aggressive Velvet player and he has a lot of good combo conversions. Velvet 5x5 on the other hand, his combo conversions aren't good, but he excels at zoning. So it's just it's such having expression is very significant. Like you can have like your cosmetics or whatever, but that's like one of the shallowest forms of expression, and most people don't care about it by the end of the day. When you have like
Yeah,
these,
no, that is a wonderful, ad. Absolutely wonderful. People care about expression, but cosmetics are only going to,
yeah,
especially in fighting games. I cannot agree with that anymore.
that's why people are actually fine if like you use like whatever palette, or they don't really care as much about cosmetics. Because yeah, looking back at this, uh, the expression is already through the playstyle, and which is kind of fitting for a fighting game because a game as a medium is interactive.
Uh, Again, he just has no idea. He has no idea what he's talking about, and he's making way too broad
But in fact, I would argue it just isn't. Obviously, in some cases, but very rarely, I think. I'm not asking for them to incorporate automatic combos into fighting games. That's a little bit absurd. I'm asking for one button.
But that's actually not absurd. There are auto combos in fighting games. There are
They're
some.
literally combo strings in Injustice, and even Tekken has combo strings. That's not a bad thing.
No. Auto. He said, "I'm not asking for automatic combos. That would be a bad thing." Or not. Look at MVCI. Like MVCI has. I mean, that's a bad game, sure, but MVCI has auto combos, but the auto combos do way less damage than actually the combo itself. It's just to give new players. Like I just don't like. Dude, this guy just has no idea what he's talking about.
It's also
No idea.
it's also a matter of like execution of like how it's implemented. Because if you look at like Dragon Ball Fighters, you will see that many people they only use like the ground auto combos in specific situations, but in most situations you will want to use the air auto combos a lot, because the thing about air auto combos in Dragon Ball Fighters, it moves
They bring you up to them. Yeah.
Yes, so it makes combos even easier.
Well, some combos aren't even possible. Like so, the basic launcher into medium light 2H double jump, and then you go light, and then probably like special moves to dunk them, or no key blast special moves to dunk them. But like if you try to do medium light 2H double jump, medium light, it won't connect. But if you go medium light 2H double jump, light, it'll like track them onto. So like also like think about like Bardock's auto combo, which fucking like auto corrects and fucking up anti air and shit. Like auto combos can be done well, and they can be. Dragon Ball Fighters is how they are done, because they continue on with, and they auto correct. They are fucking retarded, especially Bardock. Holy crap, Bardock's.
Yeah.
Abilities. The only thing directional inputs contribute to is the barrier of entry for fighting games. That is a massive problem, because in order to create a healthy...
No, they don't. We've just explained why they don't. They're not just a simple arbitrary barrier for entry. We spent like an hour explaining why they're not.
Also, basic debating. You make a claim, you have to present the evidence for that.
I mean, Mahler pointed it out in LJ. It may have been his Dark Souls.
I think it was a
PEC, point evidence conclusion.
It's just, yeah, this doesn't work.
He just has no idea what he's talking about.
Player base need people playing the game. In other games, it's much easier for the matchmaking system to find somebody of your skill level. However, because of the player retention problem, you don't have enough people online to accurately find you an opponent.
Says it's a problem by you. Because we aren't doing Dota numbers doesn't mean we're not fine where we are, dude. Fuck off.
Also, first off, this especially applies in 2017. Most fighting games have shit netcode. That's a start. Save for Killer Instinct 2013. People should play that game more.
MKX had great netcode.
Yeah.
Wait, did it? No,
it eventually did. It eventually did. At launch, it was.
I forgot. Yeah.
It was shit.
And then they completely reworked it.
And also Skullgirls and yeah. So, but anyway, first off, but yeah, going back. Majority of these fighting games have shit netcode. As such, you're not gonna see professional or high-level players play online because of the lag. The lag affects the gameplay. Second, what's this? Fighting games. Sometimes you can have like a good good netcode. You can have good online lobby system or something like that. The thing about fighting games, you also still want to have offline events as much as possible. Because fighting games,
yeah, for sure,
they're a social genre, especially ever since their inceptions, their release in like the arcade cabinets. They have always been a social genre, even more so than like the shooters or like these MOBA team games, whatever.
I'm listening.
So yeah, um, it's not like I feel like my one thing I've noticed by the way he talks, I feel like he doesn't go to events.
Every time only inflates the barrier to entry problem. Final thing these games share in common besides GTA is that they're pretty cheap. They're not a $60 game, and in some cases they're even straight up free to play. In a dream world, we would have a game with all of these mechanics that I've mentioned in this video on
No, we wouldn't.
PC and on the consoles, I guess, but primarily on PC because that's where you can really drive a big esports.
Dude, shut
Primarily,
up.
primarily driving
Shut
for.
up, dude. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. Try ever running a tournament on PC.
Dude,
Just try it.
there's a specific reason why keyboard warriors are banned, PC, and like tournaments for fighting games are exclusively on PC. P- as
You
a,
mean console?
well, yeah, mostly. First off, it's most fighting games are on console, and save for very few
No,
fighting
tournament.
games. Yeah, in the tournament
It's a
setting.
PC game.
Yeah, in a tournament. Now, save for very few fighting games that just happen to be exclusive on PC for whatever reason, such as Them's Fighting Herds, because they had they had no idea that their game would ever get the demand for console release.
Yeah.
So in those cases, you will want to you'll have to ban PC warriors, keyboard warriors specifically, because the problem with one of the biggest issues with fighting games, they especially on PC, they will have a hard time reading multiple keyboards as separate devices.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So rather than like having to decide which keyboard player gets to play, they it's better to just like ban them all. Unless you can somehow provide a hitbox for them, then they can't play. We actually had this issue back then in like last year in CPonyCon. For I just want to for a reference, just to clear things up, I'm not a brony, but in like the Southeast Asia PonyCon, they held an event. People in like the TFH community held an event there for Them's Fighting
Oh,
Herds.
nice.
So I joined there obviously to support the scene. Right?
Oh.
Now, a lot of people that joined that tournament played on keyboard. Yep. So
That's a problem.
yep. So there was
What if two people?
there is a point where there were keyboard players that were pitted against each other. So what they did, they set up a classic lobby through like the separate laptops, which ends up
Wow.
yeah, that ends up eating
Delayed?
time. It was like no, it was pretty good since it was
Wait,
since they were just
it was online now.
yeah, it was just online for that specific scenario, which
Should
it
have just set
way
up a LAN.
they couldn't because it was just laptops. It just wound up eating a lot of time, and it used up both PCs as a result. Now they couldn't do that
Jeez.
again for grand finals, so they had to get one of them to play on an arcade stick. Yeah, that's how hard. That's how hard it
very-
is. That's how hard it is to set up events for PC.
That's just like one story. Like, dude, this dude, who just has no idea what he's. I mean, you're right. Earlier, like he probably hasn't gone to tournaments. Like, this dude just has no idea what he's talking about.
Like,
It's much easier to drive an esports community on PC. Console have a good cosmetic
What?
system on the
What?
consoles, I guess, but primarily on PC because that's where you can really drive a big esports community. Traditionally, it's much easier.
No, not with fighting games, dude. Fighting
Yeah.
games are different.
also,
If
there's no reason for.
controller.
I also want to bring up. There's no reason for fighting games to be exclusive.
No, I don't think. I think all fighting games cross console with each other on Xbox, on PlayStation, on fucking Stadia for all.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
like,
That's the thing. There's no the only thing that's holding that's holding like a that's holding a fighting game to be released on other platforms is like the developers or the publisher's resources. That's it.
like
Otherwise,
exclusivity.
generally, otherwise generally, there's nothing that holds a fighting. There's no actual reason for a fighting game to be to be exclusive to a platform.
Oh, this guy's no.
community on PC. Console have a good cosmetic system and
Fighting
one-button
games.
abilities. The fact that a game like this doesn't exist currently in 2017 is kind of embarrassing. The best way to do
No,
this
you're
is the same
embarrassing.
way that Smite does it. The game is free to play but limits you on characters and cycles them out weekly. Have the option to pay $30 to $40 to get access to all of the characters in the game and future characters that haven't been added yet. Smite has proven this can.
No. Okay, first off, Killer Instinct did this, and people still complained about it when they first did it. And there's
You
a
mean?
very killer if you just download Killer Instinct for because you can download Killer Instinct for free, but you will have to go through character rotation. Or you can pay like at least usually the standard price is like $40 I think, but it kind of goes on sale regularly. Like I was able to buy like the Microsoft version of Killer Instinct for like $10.
By the way, I'm pretty sure I have like for instance every character on my Xbox One.
Oh yeah, if you have Game Pass,
That's like
yeah, if you have Game Pass, you get the premium version for free. You get all the characters for free.
that was it. I wonder if it transfers over to.
You should if you have like if you subscribe for that service where you have both
I did. I
Game
don't.
Pass. Oh, I'm not sure anymore.
But I had a month of Game Pass for during that time. I was able to get Killer. Xbox like it just sits in. I have all the consoles. I have a Switch. I have an Xbox. I have a and like I don't use my ever. Why would I? Am I gonna play Halo 5? The only thing left on it.
I,
That sucks.
I haven't bought the console since like the PS3 generation. Mostly because
So you haven't bought a, you don't have a PS4?
no, I have no PS4. I have no PS3. I completely skipped PS4 the moment I found out that I have to pay for online multiplayer.
Yep. Yeah, it's really lame. Really, like there's this pretty funny little 4-panel comic where it shows Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and PC all like in a pool. The pool says paid online, and so Xbox jumps straight in, and PC's like, "Hey guys, he's a bad influence. You guys shouldn't follow in his." And then like Sony just kind of like dives right into, and he's like, "Ah, oh, dang, Nintendo. Looks like it's just me and you. I know you won't betray me, right?" He's got like a cold sweat running down his head, and then he dives in. And
Yeah, it's just yeah, it's bullshit. It's why because I was originally deciding, okay, there was a time I legitimately decided, okay, do I want an Xbox One to get Killer Instinct, or do I want to get a PS4 so that I can play Guilty Gear? But then I found out that
go to PS4 to play and all the fucking.
yeah, that was actually a time I thought like that. But then I found out I first found but then I found out first, no matter what console I got, I had to pay for online. So that was like my first red flag. I was like, no, I'm not touching it at all. And then what happened next was that all the fighting games were also available on PC. So I was like, what's the point then? I might as well just play on PC because I wasn't someone who was going to be organizing tournaments at that time, organizing events at that time. So I might as well just get a PC. And that's actually that kind of goes to another leads to another point that I actually have in my head right now. We brought this up before, but if you're not going to be organizing events and you like fighting games, you play them on PC. You'll enjoy them more, and they tend to be on sale a lot, especially on Steam. Now, if you're going to be someone who's going to be organizing events a lot, you might as well get a PlayStation 4. because it helps. It helps logistically, and it's just you have less nightmares, especially when it comes to setting up events. So let's continue this.
It's amazing for both the consumer and the publisher. The consumer is allowed to play the game before committing any money to it, and the publisher gets more people actively playing.
Oh shit! I also forgot to bring up, because the one thing that people hate about free rotations, especially if you're into fighting games, because you don't have access to all the characters, you're not gonna be able to understand. You're not gonna be able to practice what they do, and you're not gonna learn. You're not gonna be able to think about what they
Also,
have to
matchups
be,
as well.
what you have to be wary of. Yeah, matchups too.
Learning matchups, practicing against those.
Good for many reasons that they're going to in this video, because the video is already going to be probably pretty long. Some examples of
Oh
games
my
that
God,
have tried
fuck
to do
off.
this are
Shut the fuck up, dude. We're Mahler fans. Get out of here. 8 minutes, 12 minutes is not long. You're just trying to get right over the fucking max ad revenue.
Rising Thunder, previously mentioned in the video.
Dude, have you seen this? Have you seen like my reviews? Have you seen like?
I've not seen the DMC5 one because I the game.
But have
and
you
I
seen?
have
Have you seen like just?
Hertz.
Have you seen like just the? Have you compared like just the length? Just the length alone from like my original videos to like my later videos, and then to like my recent videos. You know what the funny?
And I say take as long as you need to.
You know what the funny
And we're
thing
Mahler
was?
fans. We don't care about fucking. We don't care about length.
You know what the fucking thing was? Ironically, you know what the ironic thing was?
I'm listening.
When I was starting, I was like, I need to make sure that. Oh man, my videos didn't reach about like the length as smaller. I feel bad, but then eventually I realized, I don't care anymore. I was like, I'll just say what I need to say, and then
Say what you need to say.
ironically, it reached to it eventually. I eventually started reaching hour-long videos because, and I didn't realize it. I was like, oh shit, I ironically reached this length. Huh. I guess that's kind of just what happened. It's just
Happens when you have a lot to say.
ah. It's
All right,
it's crazy how that works.
Let's go ahead and see.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
Also a game called Fantasy Strike, which is currently under development and being funded entirely by the fans. Both of these games intended to be free to play, and as far as I'm aware, Fantasy Strike still intends to be free to play once it has launched. Both of these games intend to be on PC, although Rising Thunder of course was cancelled, but both games have one button abilities, and they both intend to have some type of cosmetic system. Hard to tell exactly what that cosmetic system would be because Rising Thunder was shut down and Fantasy Strike is still in very early development. Another game which has done most of these things is Brawlhalla. Brawlhalla is a much closer game to Smash Brothers than it is to anything like MK or Injustice or Street Fighter, but it does share a lot of these things I mentioned in this video. One button abilities, free to play on PC, cosmetic, and even the system I was talking about earlier on in this video where you can spend X amount of money to get access to all of the characters and future characters, kind of like an
Okay, so here's the thing about Brawlhalla. So by his description, it is a platform fighter. First off, so the thing about one button specials in platform fighters, that's fine to have, because the thing about platform fighters is there's a heavy emphasis towards movement, because you need to be able movement and just controlling space in a platform, because especially since like edge guarding is a thing, you want to make sure that your opponent falls off, especially if you don't want to just if you feel like you can keep them out of the stage without having to use a smash. So yeah, there's a lot more going on with like a smash to like platform fighters, which is why it's fine for them to have one button special moves.
Once again, he just
infinite season pass. And as a result, the game has an incredibly healthy player retention to the point where I, an Australian player, is able to find a match in my area in all of the playlists almost instantly. It is insane. But Brawlhalla did certainly not break the East. What I've been talking about in this video is a reimagining of fighting games and the way that they're designed in order to step up the quality and interest of the genre. There are a few developers which could pull something like this off, while also making both a polished game and giving that game a large audience. My number one pick for a developer to make this game would be Blizzard. Blizzard Entertainment has a
This line gets me every time.
Oh my god. Have you seen the Smudcast? Have you seen the Smudcast where it's like Southpaw, Literature Devil, and Evan, and they're talking about they're watching Eric Taxon's video on fucking like why objectivity isn't a, and there's this part where Eric Taxon says like something about um if we don't have standards, like won't that be a problem? And he said, "No, bitch, that's a good thing." And Smudboy was like, "Yep, we're done. Yep, we're done. I'm not finished with you anymore. Like, goodbye."
It's like,
Oh my god, I really want
I
to
love.
like holy shit. You said Blizzard.
Okay,
Jesus Christ.
now
I can't believe he
I understand that this video was uploaded in 2017, but my god, how has that statement aged so poorly?
it's like fucking sour milk, dude. The man wants Blizzard to make a free-to-play fighting game. They're gonna fucking shake your wallet for everything it's dealt. Holy crap! I cannot believe he's what a dig.
Wait, but don't people love Blizzard, especially Hong Kong?
Well, Hong Kong.
Oh my god.
No, what I do?
Oh shit, oh shit. We were like at 10 minutes.
I'll let you do it. I'll let 8.
did this with
Oh wait, no,
games.
no.
Card
Okay,
games.
yeah, I messed up here.
My number one pick for a developer to make this game would be Blizzard Entertainment has a huge history of taking genres and completely redesigning them into a standard and a norm. Did this with MMOs. MMOs looked very different before World of War. Did this with card games. Card games looked very different before.
That was the old WoW team, and I don't really even know if that's true.
Yeah, no. Also, Hearthstone is from what I've heard, it's an RNG fest, and its deck
Yep.
building is really bad. It's apparently really bad in that game.
I have no interest.
Meanwhile, Legends of Runeterra, deck building is actually kind of fun, especially when you start focusing around specific mechanics. Like, you can see very easy, at least for me, who's had a little bit of experience with like playing card games. It's so easy for me to start getting ideas and start building, theory crafting, and even trying them out.
Hearthstone. We did this with first-person shooters. Overwatch, while sharing similarities with Team Fortress 2 and other games before it, Overwatch definitely went a step further by having the game be completely class-based and having that many different classes, and even did a lot with map design that we haven't seen before. And
I haven't played Overwatch, so how true is that, Southpaw?
I haven't played Overwatch. I don't know.
Oh my god. Because I think I remember like Shami doing like a what's this? A review of like Overwatch and Paladins. And I think it is somewhere in the link in that description, there's like a sheet of like elements that were copied into that Overwatch just copy and pasted. It seems to be really
What?
detailed. So yeah, I'll have to check that out to see the validity of Bilbsy's claims.
cosmetics as well. They did a fantastic job with it. They even did this with MOBAs to some extent. Traditionally, MOBAs have one map and one objective. You usually have an ADC, a tank, support, and a mid player, where Heroes of the Storm has a massive map pool and ton of varieties in both objectives and roles. And in the past,
Heroes of the Storm. You ever heard about that game?
I've heard a lot of mixed opinions about that game.
Oh, dude, that game died so fast. And my favorite part about the Heroes of the Storm, Blizzard just pulled the plug on that one. Like, man, just oof.
Blizzard has even teased a fighting game, although this was an April Fool's joke. It certainly got me excited. Another developer is Riot Games. Normally, if you ask my opinion on Riot Games, my answer would be fairly straightforward. I don't really like them.
I don't like them either, but the thing is that Riot Games is in the middle of making a fighting game. If they weren't owned 100% by Tencent, I would totally play it because I get to play as one of my favorite video game characters of all time, who's in League of Legends.
Actually,
Remember that game Rising Thunder
yeah.
I talked about earlier on a video? Riot Games was the company that bought it out, saying that the team that was working on Rising Thunder has moved on to bigger and better things, and they couldn't actually talk about the project they were working on. This day, that bigger and better thing hasn't been talked about or revealed to us in any way. Personally, I think that they're working on a Rising Thunder style game, but set in the world of Legend. I think either of these two developers could take the fighting game genre, which is effectively a pretty small genre and just a tiny part of the esports world, and turn it into one of the.
Actually, that depends, doesn't it? Because from what I've heard, at least, they didn't originally put like one button inputs for the sake of like accessibility. They only did the one button specials because it was just a way for the game to stand out. So in terms of now, given like the balancing issues that you usually have, I'm not sure if they will actually be willing to, if they will. But what I find so odd about this discussion about Project L, I don't understand how like it'll be like the savior of the fighting game genre, because people tend to like hype it up as such. Because the thing is, you can get like a lot of people, but what's like the quality of the fan base? How devoted are they actually? Because I've been hearing mixed things about MK11's player base online. Like, you can, what's this? It has like good netcode, but the thing is, because it became such a household, it ends up having a lot of people in its player base as a result. And the thing is, from what I've been hearing, many of those people are just dude bros. It kind of gets obnoxious, apparently.
In Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11, especially.
Well, MK11 was the not fighting game, was the #1 selling game of 2019.
Yeah.
Got some dude.
And that just sounds like sounds like something.
I mean, I don't know about that Street Fighter, but I'll be playing that Mortal Kombat, bro. I mean, Kombat, like everyone plays Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a game I'd want.
Mortal Kombat 11 is not bad.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't sound like.
I'd go as far as to say it's a good fighting game.
It seems okay, like a game. I still don't understand why they still included stances, but for the most part, it's okay. It's just the player base has the lobby system and like the way that it has good netcode. I can give them that, but lobby system wasn't exactly something that made me want to stick. If anything, if there's any game I can imagine myself playing aside from like TFH, it would be the Power Rangers game, if I could play it somehow. Because aside from like having a childhood, because first off, I did have a childhood attachment to Power Rangers. Second, if you've seen the lobby system of that game, it looks sick. Like, just watch like Wednesday night fights. The lobby system looks amazing. But yeah, let's finish this video.
What's talking up there with Overwatch, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, and as you can tell by this pretty long video, I've thought a lot about this. I hope the developers do as well, because it's a game that would personally change the way I look at fighting games, and it would create for an experience that we haven't had before in this genre. Anyway, that's been my thoughts on the topic. Let me know what you think after watching this video. I'm actually really curious.
Yeah. Just, oh my god. I don't understand. This is really overhyped with like this League of Legends fighter, because I still don't understand. Like, don't get me wrong, I play a lot of League of Legends of Runeterra, and I think it's a decent game for what it is. I don't see it as like, I'm not gonna imagine like this League of Legends fighter as like something that's big.
Revolutionized fighting game.
For the most part, I expect it to at least be better than like Fantasy Strike, because if you haven't heard, the free version of Fantasy Strike doesn't let you invite friends for matches. Yeah, you have to pay $20 in order to do that.
Fuck that, dude.
Oh, you also you know what the best thing about Fantasy Strike is? If you pay for a monthly subscription, you get access to replays.
Right. Right. That's wow. Okay, good to know I'm not fucking supporting that game. Okay, basically in conclusion, this guy has no idea what the fuck he's talking about, and he makes sweeping claims about shit he doesn't. All right, good night.
uh, but yeah, I think this is where we'll end the stream for now. Thanks for anyone who actually was actually able to watch this somehow. I'll probably re-upload this again with everything brought together because there are streamtisms with this. So yeah, hopefully, maybe I might be able to get a full video out of this. So